Hello friends, so far you have seen statements like 10 is greater than 2. So this kind of statement is either true or false. Okay, but this particular statement is true. So similarly, there are other statements like today today we are late. Today we are late. So you can say if you're late, then the statement is true. Okay, or if you're not late, then the statement is false. So these are simple prepositions, and that can be represented using a variable like this. Okay, this can be Q. The entire statement can be represented using one variable. Okay, and then you can make compound statements like P or Q, and you can make statement like this: P implies Q. So all kind of weird statements you can make using this connective, and we have seen these things, right? Now what we want to do is we want to make sure that we can use the particular statement for many different values. This is one value. What if I want to check some other value? Say 10 is greater than 3, or 10 is greater than 4, or maybe 20. What if I want to do that? So that is the subject of topic of today. In this video, we're going to talk about predicate logic. Okay, so predicate logic is kind of function. Okay, it's a prepositional function that takes variable. Okay, so more about this in a minute. Let me wipe this out. Okay, so let's say if I have a statement which says let's say x is greater than 10. Okay, this makes sense. This is a preposition. I can call this as P. Give it a variable name P. But you see, the x is, now I don't know what the x is, right? So if I don't know x, how can I say whether this is true or false? I cannot say that. There is no way to know whether this is true or false. So in this case, what we have to do is we have to assign a value to the x. We have to give some value to the x, say for example 5. So if this is 5, then I can say 5 is greater than 10, which is false. So this is right, the false, because 5 is never is not greater than 10. So this is false. What if I say x is equal to, assign a value to x, say x is 20. If this is the case, then the statement becomes 20 is greater than 10. So now this is true, right? So based on my variable value, this function is changing. The statement is changing into true or false, and such a statement is called is actually denoted by this symbol P of x. X is a variable, so this is called a predicate. This is predicate logic. Now you can have more than one value. It's not that only you have to use x. Okay, predicate logic. it's not that you only need to use x. Suppose I can use let me wipe this out and show you what we can do about it. Suppose I have another statement, and the other statement is what about the statement p of x and then y. What if this predicate has this preposition function has two variables? So what I have to use this? I have to use this like x is equal to y plus 10. So statement can be anything. It can use more than one variables. What if I use so for example n, and this statement I have two variables, c for computer and n for network. So I can say that c computer is connected to n network. So this is a statement, and in this can be depending on the type of computer or the network, the statement can be true or false. It can be anything. We don't know. Similarly, this can be a value of x and y. If this is 11 and the value of y is 1, then statement is true. Otherwise, it is false. Okay. If this is 11 and 1, this is true, or otherwise it is false. And what about changing value? If this is 2 and this is 2, then also statement is true and this is false. If this is 13 and this is 2, then statement F is right, the false is right. So this is how the predicate logic works. Okay, so it is usually denoted as P and then X value. So don't think that predicate cannot have more than two variables. A predicate can have any number of variables. For example, I can say x, y, x1, x2, and so on. It can have x n variables. So there are different variables. So this is called an n space predicate. Quite interesting. So this is n space predicate, which means all the variables are part of the predicate, and then when you give value to each one of them, then the statement will become true or false. Okay. So some interesting thing we can see in programming world, how this can be useful. Let us have a look at that. Let me see how it can be useful. Let me show you that. So, for example, in some cases in programming, you can use you frequently use the if block. Okay. So if I say if my if block says x is not equal to 1, and if this is not equal to 1, or maybe say 0, if it is not equal to 0, then you can simply execute the statement as x is x plus 1. Okay, this is what you do normally in programming. What you do is you simply run this, check this block, and then you execute the statement. The value of x is incremented. So for example, if say you can say this is a predicate. This is a predicate with a value x. Okay, makes sense, right? Because whenever you put a value for x, for example, if I put value for x as 1, then obviously it's not equal to 0, and it's going to be 1. 1 plus 1, and that is equal to 2. If this is 11, then it's going to be 11 plus 1 equals to 12. So far so good. The statement is true, then you execute the block. If not, then if it is false, you don't execute the block. So because this is in the form of predicate. Okay, so that's one of the use of these kind of predicates. And let me show you another one. Let us see one more example. Suppose I want to swap two numbers. I want to swap two numbers. X is equal to a, then y is equal to b. This, and my predicate is and I'm using a variable called t to swap the two numbers. Okay, and to swap this number, what I have to use is I have to use the logic px, then y and t. All three variables I have to use, and let's see how we can use that. So first, what I'm going to do is I have got my values x and y. So first I have to switch the values. So first assign something to the t. Okay, give value of x to t, and then once you given value of x to t, and give value of y to t. So y value is given to t to x, and then give the value of t to y. So this y is given. So what I am going to do is give this value to y. So now the value of x is y is gone to x. So x is equal to b, and the value of x is given to t, and then from t it is given to y. So y is equal to a. So basically what you did is you swap the numbers. Basically you swap the two numbers. So x is equal to a, now x is b. So this is called a precondition. Okay, so you check the condition first, precondition, and this is post condition. Okay, this is post condition. So this is a predicate logic. Okay, this is actually a predicate logic. Now I want to show you the relationship between these two. Basically this is a predicate logic. P of x is or y, x and y is actually x is equal to a and y is equal to b. If this is true, proper value is assigned, and then we check this one. Then q is equal to again x and y. Q is equal to x and y. So what you see here is that if this is true, then this will also be true. If you give proper value, then the program is going to swap the number and give it, and the output is also going to be true. If this is not true, if x has not given the right value and y is not given the correct value, then you cannot expect the program to swap the number. So this is one of the application of the predicate. Okay, and I hope you learned something new today. Okay, with that, thank you very much for listening.